Welcome to Touhoumon, back to it. World Link Revised. Yes, the last part I walked through, explored Moss Deep. That took like 15 minutes, and I spent the rest of the episode going through the water. And now we're gonna continue going through the water because, oh my god, there's so much water. But you already knew that. It's kind of what this game is known for. Better or for worse. So yeah, I'm doing 5th recording today. It's 2 o'clock. I might be pushing 8, but I don't care. Whatever. If I get interrupted, I get interrupted. It's not like there's anything in the plot that would really matter if I just stopped all of a sudden. Through fishing, I have attained a state of a calm serenity. Please allow me to demonstrate. So Luna, my electric grass type, is going to not do much of anything because you have Hinas, because fishermen have Hinas, and Hina's not a water type. Of course! Kill it anyway, please. You're a whole... 19 levels ahead of it. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much game going on here. It's kinda... It's an expedition, exhibition. Is that the word? I'm just showing things off at this point. Be like, yeah, there's this fisherman here, he's got 3 Hinas. Did you know that? Now they're dead. This one's an E-Hina. Maybe this one won't die in one hit. Who knows? That I got a drill. That's pretty cool. You go draw Hina with a drill sometimes because, yeah. Doesn't Eco do that in like the game or something? His name's Jonah. He's a fisherman. There's another fisherman over here. He might also have 3 Hinas. Whoops! Don't tell me I snagged a surfing Bonica. I mean, I was about to say, like, can Pokemon learn surf if they don't have a trainer? But then, like, surfing is just them existing in the water. That's the thing you could go on a whole, like, confused tangent about. Pokemon can learn 4 moves, right? But some of their moves are literally just, like, doing things that they need to do to exist. Like, fish need to surf in order to, you know, exist in the water, and they need to dive if they, like, go under the water. Like, shouldn't every Pokemon you find in the, when you dive, shouldn't they already know dive because they had to dive down there? Well, I guess technically if they were, like, born down there and always existed, they didn't already dive there. What I'm going is the whole, like, 4 move thing doesn't make that much sense. I can't keep up. Yeah, I can't either. Doesn't really make much sense when you consider how some moves are just, like, basic actions. Well, hey, this is a match between my Bonica fan and a fishing buff. Gameplay mechanic, you don't think about how it works in the world. Be like the anime, where I'm pretty sure it sometimes just ignores gameplay mechanics for the sake of making sense as a world. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Again, a lot of the anime, like 99.9999% of the anime I haven't seen. Parts the anime I remember. I don't know, it was just one fuckhead named Paul. Or like, legendaries or something. Kept beating Ash in Gen 4 over that guy. Need to find things to talk about because I'm going to be surfing around 7.8 land. For the foreseeable future? I don't know, I'd like to just get rid of all the water routes, because then what I can do is if I've done all the water routes, then next time I record I can do the gym leaders, and then I can get dive. My life's all tangled, the party's over, and I think I might be able to do the Reggies. I don't know, I'd like to see if I can figure out how to do that between recording sessions, and then go do that, like, during the next recording session. Do Reggie stuff. Because, you know, this series has been going on for over 30 parts now, and aside from BVT, who I still don't know actually if they actually counted as a legendary or not, or if they were just like a special encounter, there's been like no legendaries. So we can do something to fix that. Yeah, again, I don't really know where I am. A Carbos, that's something. Certainly is something, that is. Speed stat, pretty good stat. Let's give it to you. Need to get rid of the Sunstone at some point, I don't need it. Run in your bare feet. That will toughen up your souls. Well, be careful, you never know what kind of shit you can step into the sand. But, yeah, just don't really enjoy thinking about walking around in barefoot, because yeah, you just step on some glass or something, and that sounds awful, you know? Ouch, I got a pebble under a toenail. Yeah, you could get a lot worse than that. It's what I do to people who beat me. I hope we can do this again. My main character is unable to say no to the prospect of having someone force their phone number into your phone book. I can see it in your face. You want to challenge me. I think you're really bad at reading people's face. It's just me. Otaku Camden. That is definitely not what they're called in the localized version. I don't exactly know what they're called, though. Sonic Boom! What does that do? That's not counter, is it? No. You're using it again, though, so you seem to think it's doing something, but it doesn't seem to be doing something to me. Great, things to talk about. Right, yeah, just last time I went on a short tangent about Nintendo, because that just happened to be what I was talking about. I was talking about Pokemon games, and how I find the whole, like, I don't know, fandom war or whatever that surrounds them to be kind of stupid. It's been going on since, like, Gen 8, basically. It's like, the Pokemon games aren't as good as they should be, frankly. And, like, people are really angry about that. And it's like, I don't know, they seem like about as good as they about as average as they normally are, so if people want to buy them and play a Pokemon game, just getting mad about them, getting mad at them for it seems kind of silly, but, like, I guess I get it. If people buy the game, then they won't make the game better, because it's going to sell anyway, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like a momentum thing. Pokemon is Pokemon. They'd have to really fuck up something for people to not want to play the next Pokemon game, you know how it is. Have I? Okay, at this point, I'm just kind of gonna go row by row here. We've been working so hard to mount a Bonica League challenge, we can't afford to lose now. No, I'm just kind of apathetic about the whole thing, because I haven't played a Pokemon game since Gen 8. So it's like, when people go, oh, the Pokemon games are bad, it's just like, just, I don't know, be like me, and play fucking ROM hacks of the older ones. And again, I'm the kind of person who barely buys games at all anymore. Bought Deltarune for $35. That was worth it. I bought Fantasy Maiden Wars for $30. Fantasy Maiden Wars definitely has more than $30 worth of content. Oh, my cheapskateness, being a cheapskate. The whole idea of spending like $60 was something I'd rarely do back in the day. Like, I did that a couple times when I got a Switch that was new. I got like 3 games for that Switch. And then I bought a couple more at some point, but like, that was it. That was back when, like, I played console, but now that I mostly play my games on computer, just like, yeah, this game's out, and it's 80 to 90 bucks. It's just like, yeah, no. Never, actually. Notorious theme. Am I finding anything going row by row here? I don't know. I've been up here, yes? That's where you are, so is there anything to do over here if I go row by row? No, I think I might be making progress here. I don't know. Maybe? I don't recognize this, but what happens when I go like this? Am I back in Mos Deep again? Yes. Okay, so I think I've mostly made my way through all this. I think. God, it gets so confusing when the water is this, like, far out. Can I land here? I can. Okay, get past that rock. Why have we been over here? Yes, because it's Route 126, which is a dead end. Okay, back and forth this way. I think I've done everything. I don't know. I don't know, if I feel like more people were like me, that the gaming industry just wouldn't be able to survive, basically. More people are like, yeah, I don't need to spend that much money on a game, I'll just go online and buy this slightly different version of a game. Or, you know, some mods are basically completely different games anyways, so, you know, just do that. I don't know, you already have Nintendo going after, like, fan content all the time because they're assholes. Imagine if it actually if there were so many people that, like, played ROM hacks instead of buying the next Pokemon or Mario game, like, if so many people did that to where it actually affected their bottom line, Nintendo would probably pull some Disney bullshit and actually cause really stupid stuff to happen. So, maybe it's good there aren't that many people like me, and there are a bunch of people who buy the next Pokemon game, regardless of their better ways to play a Pokemon game, you know? Don't doubt Nintendo, they'd be able to do it. Nintendo was just like, ban emulators, do it. We will give you all the Mario monies. I don't know, they wouldn't be able to do it. But they'd try their damnedest. You have to go to the shadier onion sides of the worlds to get your Pokemon bluer version. I'm just talking nonsense. I feel like I've been doing that for a while now. You figured I'd have more to talk about, considering how long it's been since I played this game, but you know, 5 parts, you kind of run out of shit. There's no stronger trainer than I. You know, you have that one patent that people talk about when it comes to the whole, like, patenting gameplay mechanics thing, how Warner Brothers patented the Nemesis system from the Shadow of games, Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. It's very good games, it's a very good system. They patented it and have done jack shit with it. Yeah, that's bullshit, but I think the thing about that patent is I think it's, like, really specific, at least. It's like you can't have a system where you have specific enemies that, like, after they kill you, they gain more knowledge, and then they remember you, and I think it's decently specific, so I think, like, I'm not an expert on this, but I think you might be able to bullshit your way into making something similar without, like, damaging, like, without triggering that patent. You just have, like, to change a few things, I think. It's still bullshit that it exists, but it's not, like, I'm pretty sure you can still do something with that, like something similar, and as long as it's, like, a little bit different, you can probably get away with it because of how specifically worded it is. But when you have, like, the thing Pokemon was trying to do, where it's like, yeah, if you capture something and then use it in battle, it's like, So, I have this game called Real Life, where I catch a stag beetle, and then I have it fight another stag beetle. Did you copyright that? Fuckwits. I sound a lot madder about this than I am. I'm using this as an excuse to say funny F words. Just, yeah, that had no legal precedent on anything. And from last I heard, it got rejected. But who knows, maybe it'll come back later. I don't know, I can go into a whole other, like, deeper topic about how most copyright law is kind of stupid and just kind of just serves to stifle creative progress and a whole bunch of other more deeper topics that shouldn't be talked about, or maybe it should, I don't know. I'm just not the kind of guy to talk about it in the funny Pokemon game. I don't know, I feel like I could talk about some more deep a subject matter sometimes, but maybe I could, but I'm just not very good at explaining myself sometimes, so if I tried to do that, I might say something I didn't mean, and that wouldn't be good. So I should continue talking about silly things when I play the silly Pokemon game. Yes. Where am I going? Is this where Victory Road is? Or, yeah, I think this is like Victory Road, and you can't go here yet because you don't have a waterfall. The sunlight seems to be more harsh in this area. You're looking awfully tough. I wonder if I can win. Yeah, this is very kind of similar to Johto at this point. Not really, not nearly as open world, but you know, you can do basically the entire rest of the map now, and that's kind of what I'm doing. So you're ridiculously over leveled compared to everything, which is how it is in Gen 2. TED 2. Did you really need to do that? I don't think you really need to do that. I really don't want to use a revive on Ron right now, so if you could just die, that'd be perfect. Why aren't you dead? That's not dead. Ron, that Yukari is 15 levels lower than you. You wanna kill it in one hit? Like Saragamaru here? Long-haired Wriggle. Dead. Yay! Well, everyone's level 50 now, so it doesn't even really matter who I bring up. Gotta revive Ron, though. Signal Beam! Should be super effective against you because you're psychic. This is a bug move. Remember how there was multiple parts where I just thought the bug didn't exist on the type chart for some reason? I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Couldn't see very well because of the sun's glare. Ouch, I guess it was impossible to win. Do 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 do. Alright. What else can I talk about while I continue to surf around the waves? Don't know. Made it to Evergrande. Is there really anything for me to do here? Nope, there's just a big waterfall. So does that mean I can just move on to the lower routes where... Actually, don't know how long they'll take, because yeah, there's like a bunch of routes down there, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it is just water current that pushes you automatically. Actually, from what I'm remembering, they're actually really annoying routes because you have to like keep going back to the beginning and then surfing at different parts to get to different areas, and it's really annoying. Maybe I save that for later. I'm still not even there yet. It's been 17 minutes. I didn't tell you to do that, Flapjack Girl. I did. I didn't mean to, though. I want to visit Evergrande, so I caught myself a Monica, then knows the move Waterfall to crest the falls. Silly, don't you know that your Pokemon doesn't actually need to know the move? Not here. Right, I was talking about things I said in that Naruto game I played before I played any of this today. Anything else I said in that I could carry up on? Because I feel like I kind of just said a bunch of offhand comments. I don't know, can't really remember. Force Palm. Why are you weak to that? What type is Force Palm? For my fighting type to be weak to it, is it not a fighting type move? Sounds like it should be. Yeah, can you imagine if I did that entire game using the chicken voice for Naruto? Would not have been very kind to my voice. That is not the move I should have used. Whoops. Block. Cool. Good job. You used block. Now I can't leave. Goodbye, Matori. I guess there's one thing I had a bit on my mind at some point that I could maybe ramble about for a bit. Is the fan characters in Touhoumon games. You know, I've played a few Touhoumon games, few Touhoumon games at this point, and some of them have fan characters. I don't know, it's weird. It's different for like the fan shmups and stuff, where you kind of expect the game to be filled with a bunch of fan characters because they normally are. So yeah, you have like those, and then you have like the other Touhoumon fan games where you don't expect there to be any fan characters, so it's kind of like unexpected when there are. So I feel like because of that, Evergrande City is still a long ways away. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just kind of going back and seeing if I missed any trainers. It's a fish. I don't know, I feel like there might be a bit more, I don't know, pushback, mental pushback, I don't know, towards the idea of having a fan character just kind of show up in a game when you weren't like expecting them to. That's why it's probably want to make sure they're like presented in a way it's where they're likable pretty quickly, you know. Especially the case when you have like a fan character that's like given an important role or maybe even like a main role. So I can imagine there'd be a bit of mental pushback there when you're like, I want to play a Touhoumon game and I want to have Reimu and friends do whatever the fuck, and then you play it and it's about this other character. I don't know. I can imagine there might be some. I'm not talking about like personal here. I just imagine there might be some resentment towards having a fan character just kind of show up in something and take an important role, which is probably why it's pretty important that you write them very well. And like the main examples I can think of that is Ha Seoi? Is that her last name? From Touhou Healing Nature. She's the main character of that game. She's a very likable character. That game is a very pretty good story. To make up for the fact that it looks fucking awful to play. RPG Maker bullshit 101. Turn-based game where you fucking die. Unless you get lucky. Love JRPGs sometimes, really do. I'm listening outside. I might be interrupted soon. I'm trying to pay attention to noises to see if they're about to be interrupted noises, you know? Yeah, then, other example is, you know, Kakoi. Where, I think that game was very smart in the fact that it advertised the fact that the Kakoi was basically the main character of that game, so it didn't, like, come out of the blue to anyone playing that game. Like, before you played Gensokyo Odyssey, it made it very clear that Kakoi was basically the main character, so you were kind of fine with that before it started. Whereas, imagine if it didn't do that, you just started the game and the character showed up out of nowhere and was given all the attention, you'd probably be pretty taken aback by that. And you know, it also helps that Kakoi is a very likable character. So, this is basically what I'm trying to say here is, from someone who knows jack shit about nothing, when you're writing a fan character in a fan work, you better make pretty damn sure that they're likable pretty quickly, because there's probably going to be some sort of, like, negative bias towards when they first show up, because, you know, especially if you're not expecting them to be there. But again, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just kind of spitballing things to talk about while I'm stuck in the water forever. There's so much water in this game with all this water. Sure is. That's small little Alice. She's got a book. It's a big book, except it's not. It's a normal sized book. She's just really small. Yes. That's like a plot point that seems to be going on in Fantasy Maiden Wars, is that it hasn't been that much of a time skip between Touhou 5 and what the game's doing now, but Alice looks like normal Alice was a lot taller than small Alice. So Alice got a really big growth spurt, I guess. This is my first triathlon. So I'm all tense and nervous. You probably shouldn't stop your triathlon to deal with me. So you think that the puppet Marasas also sink a bunch of ships? I don't know. The Pokédex only tells you about the actual characters and not what the puppets do, like they do in Puppet Dance Performance, so there is a lack of world building in this mod of Pokemon. I need to understand how the world works. What do the puppets do? I don't know. If I remember correctly, at the beginning of the game, they were like, yeah, the puppets showed up very recently. They're a recent phenomenon, kind of like a Puppet Dance Performance, and then the game continues to just be exactly like Pokemon Emerald. So it's like, yeah, these puppets that created the water and the earth, and yep, that they definitely didn't just show up recently, so that's blatant contradiction, so who knows what's going on with the story of this game. It's just it's a hack of a Pokemon game. It's not that deep. Just want dual characters where the Pokemon are. It's like Moemon, but like total characters. It's not that deep. Maybe I want it to be that deep, you know. What are you doing? I'm in the middle of a triathlon, but sure, why don't we battle? Yeah, quite weird how they have the triathlon look so similar to the swimmer, as far as I can tell. Yeah, we're level 50 now, ain't that something? Seems like it'd be early, but also this is like part... what, like 33 or 34 or something like that? Series been going on for a while. Actually not... when you think about how much landmass I've explored compared to the actual region, I'm kind of like close to done with the entirety of it. Because I got like this part to the left where you do all these routes and you have that like one town. And then other than that, there's just like Sutopolis and Evergrande, and that's the entirety of the landmass of this region. So really all that's left is whatever the hell the Java region is, which I don't know how big that is. Probably not nearly as big as Kanto, or Johto was, but you never know. Alright, so I'm at Route 130 now, yes? I accidentally zoomed out. I don't know how to fix... or I zoomed in, I don't know how to fix that. Oh god. Oh wait, did it... there we go, okay. Alright, so yeah, there's Route 130, Route 31, Pacifilog, and all of this. And it's been 27 minutes, so I'm gonna fight these two. Then I'm gonna put myself right in front of this water. What's the hurry? Let's take it slow and easy. Surfing isn't as easy as it seems, isn't that right? And then in the next part, which is probably going to be recorded a while from now, I will finish the water. I will explore the rest of the water, and then go get Dive, and then maybe I'll have figured out what I'm supposed to do with the Regis by then. You should be a fighting type, you look like one. Both of these characters were in 14.5, don't you know? That's actually the exact same pose the Sukuna puppet has in Puppet Dance Performance. Is that a pose she, like, makes in the games? I don't remember her doing that. So it's probably just a reference to that. Why would you do that? You know, I have to wonder if the Sukuna puppet is actually really small, because, like, in the Pokédex entry, because in Puppet Dance Performance, this is a form of Sukuna that's, like, really small. So I wonder if they play into that bit, so if you look at the, instead of being, you know, 0.3 meters like the other chibis are, they're like 0.1. They're just the smallest they can make it. And they make a gag where they don't even get bigger as it evolves. Like, it's the same size. Oh my, I want to relax a little more. Winning sure isn't easy. Right, there you go. I've explored a lot of water. In the next part, which will be recorded who knows when, I'm going to explore even more water. See you then, bye.